So the Stompa Boys Battle Force sells out in seconds with retailers. Let's talk about that. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As always, my name is Jay. In this video I want to talk about the Battle Forces that went on sale this weekend. Specifically the Stompa Boys, but also the Custodes one as well. Wow. I have never seen such craziness as I saw this weekend. So last week, of course, the Nightmare Kill Team box set went up for sale, and it disappeared in about an hour, right? Across the world, disappeared in an hour. Most retailers that weren't Games Workshop sold out in about an hour or two. Craziness. I wasn't interested in that particular box set because I don't play Drukhari and I don't play Night Lords. But this week's pre-orders were several really cool Ork things and several really cool Custodes things. So Codex and cards and dice, a new Battle Force, and a new Combat Patrol. And of course, we knew that the Combat Patrol box sets aren't limited edition. They're not limited numbers. If they sell, you'll get them again. And they're both pretty good. Like, they're both solid foundations of the armies. Custodes one is a real strong foundation of their army. The Orcs one is a really strong foundation if you want to play Beast Snega Boys, for sure. And then there were some Battle Forces, and the Battle Forces were nuts. The Custodes one was obviously, once again, a solid foundation with bikes. So depending on how you feel about the bikes, you might love or hate the Battle Force versus the Combat Patrol. And the Battle Force for the Orcs was centered around the Stompa. It was called the Stompa Boys. 800 of the 1100 points in the box set was the Stompa. The majority of the value was the Stompa. In Canada, it was $260. You can get it up to like $39 off, so $221 if you bought it like a retailer. And a Stompa alone is like $180 Canadian, so there's amazing value in that box, right? For that extra $41, or if you buy it full price, $80, you get another truck, which is awesome. Squad of 10 boys, 10 Verna boys or Ludas, and the new mech model, which is really cool. The new Big Mech model with his giant gun of doom, very cool. So I decided before this weekend I wanted the Stompa Boys box set. The reason being is I've always wanted a Stompa. I'm an Orc player through and through. I never had a Stompa. The model I actually love. I love the Stompa. I know a lot of people hate on the Stompa model. I actually love it. This year I'm trying to rid my world of unpainted models, and I've had a great time so far. I'm going to keep going, and I really want to get it done. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to paint tons of Orcs this summer. Why not add a squad of, 20 some more models. I've always wanted a Stompa, and there's amazing value in this box. I could use another truck. I smashed a truck by accident, so another truck would be great. The new mech model is awesome. 10 more boys, cool. I have tons of boys, and you can't really do the gun, you know what I mean? With that particular box set, you can't really control what they have on them. That's cool too. And I could use some more Verna boys. In the new Codex, Ludas are maxed to a squad of 10. I already have 30 Ludas, but I could use more Vernas. So, amazing value in that box set. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I anticipated it to be crazy. I didn't expect it to be that crazy. So, about my story, what happened was, of course, I'm in Canada. We're in the last group to go on sale. And what typically happens in Canada is a lot of retailers, I live in Atlantic time, so a lot of retailers that aren't GW go up for pre-order at 1 p.m. Atlantic time, right? Which I know this, I had them lined up. GW goes for pre-order 2 p.m. Atlantic time, so it gives you an hour. And then my favorite retailer actually goes on sale the next day, and sometimes I've actually been quite successful getting a model from them, and sometimes I haven't. So it's one of those situations where if I don't get it day one, I'll go for my favorite retailer day two. So today, sorry, not today, Saturday this weekend, I was prepared. At 1 p.m., I was prepared to jump on one of my favorite retailers because they sell for 10 or 15% off retail price. So it'd be $221 Canadian or $234 Canadian, depending which one. $221 or, yeah, or $234 Canadian, depending which store. And so I was lined up. So I had 2 of them lined up, my 2 favorite stores that I typically buy at online on my Saturday pre-orders, and I jumped on my first one. So I literally refreshed, 1 o'clock hit, and boom, the Ork models were pre-order. All I simply did was add the Codex and the Battle Force. And I thought to myself, maybe I want to do the dice for like 10 seconds. Decided against the dice. So then I hit checkout. And in that time alone, I got the warning, sorry, something in your cart is no longer available, and it was the Battle Force. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. It's only been 1 o'clock and 15 seconds at most at this point. So I refreshed, same message, went back, Battle Force is sold out. Went to the other website that I already had loaded, same exact thing. In less than a minute, both of my favorite stores that I shop at online were sold out. Went to a third one that I knew of, sold out as well. Went to a fourth one, sold out as well. Wow. This is just the Ork one. Just the Ork one. It took about 5 or 10 minutes for the Custodes one to sell out. On most of these start selling on their websites. It was the Ork one that sold out in less than a minute. It was literally at 15 seconds gone across the board, which was crazy. I didn't anticipate this level of insanity, and it's a combination of 2 things, of course. Very, very limited supply and high demand. Us Ork players are hardcore, and we want it. It's a great value. It was an amazing value box set. The new model's awesome, and a lot of us don't have Stompas. I really wanted a Stompa as well, and it was just amazing value. And it wasn't FOMO. I really do like the Stompa model, and I decided beforehand I wanted this box set because I saw the value in it. It really applied and would help my army, and who cares if the Stompa's not going to be the most competitive? It's going to be fun. It's what Ork players are all about, having fun. Plus the truck, the mech, and the Burna Boys really do add to my army. The 10 boys, whatever. They're icing on the cake. So, yeah. So there we go. It's 1 o'clock and less than 1:01, and it's already sold out across the board. And I'm hearing this across, I looked at just from Reddit posts and everything, and this is across the board. Everyone's feeling the same way. It turns out, and I did reach out to one of the retailers, and I got an insider story, extremely limited supplies for the retailers, right? GW kept most of the box set for themselves. It makes sense, business-wise. I'll go over that in a second, but still, it really hurts the retailers. The retailers got between 3 and 5 boxes, from what I've heard. 3 to 5. And literally, it was gone. 3 to 5 each, right? The demand was insanely high for the Orks, very high for the Custodes, and they were gone. And so the reason why GW, of course, kept them mostly to themselves is, of course, it's a stronger business model. If you think about it, GW has the option. GW is both a retailer and a wholesaler, right? Is a manufacturer, sorry, and a retailer. So they can sell the products to the stores at wholesale price, and then the stores mark up and make the money. Or they can just retail the same items and make all the money themselves, being their own retailer and manufacturer and wholesaler. So in cases like these, where the box sets essentially sell themselves, right, they don't care because they're going to sell out. They knew they were going to sell out. The supply was extremely limited, and so they knew they were going to sell out. And so they did, right? Which is crazy. It kind of reminds me of years ago. I used to work at a place called Future Shop in Canada, and Apple products. Future Shop was commission, and you make a certain amount per item, and the worst commissions were Apple products at Future Shop. And Apple was the worst to deal with because their mentality was, you're not selling our products, you're just simply a middleman to our products. Our products are going to sell themselves. We make such amazing products, they're going to sell themselves. You're just simply the middleman, do the transaction, we're not giving you much of a commission, you didn't earn it. And that's kind of this, I feel, this mentality with GW for this particular release, was that the retailers knew, like, these sets were going to sell themselves, right? They didn't have to sell them, so GW was going to keep them back, give a little bit to support the community, and the rest is history. So, 2 o'clock rolls around. I didn't have FOMO. As I said, I wanted to buy this box set beforehand. I tried to buy this set. And at 1 o'clock, it really surprised me. Last weekend, they were running with the Q, right? GW, once again. So I was on the website. at 1:58 Atlantic time, 1:59, and I'm just refreshing. Refresh. Drop my paintbrush. And at 2 p.m., it refreshed, became available. No queue, which was very surprising to me. These items were extremely demanded upon. No queue. What's up with that? No anti-bot thing, no queue. Two of the problems that they've used in the past to resolve, two of the things that they've used in the past to resolve issues weren't there, but it was available. So I put it in my cart, and I'm like, I totally didn't even think about adding a codex. I didn't buy a codex yet. I'll buy it sometime in the near future. Who cares? I can easily get one from my local GW, my local stores, easy. And so I put it in, and I didn't add a codex. I didn't want to add anything else. Put it in, and paid, and I got one. So I got one from my, sorry, my chair's really squeaky. I got one from gamesworkshop.com/Warhammer, whatever the new website is, warhammer.com. So it'll ship there. I paid full price, whatever. Still amazing value. And then the next day, of course, they did go available on my other favorite store, and they're actually still available at the moment. But that's a different story. Just like one or two left. But cool. I got one. That's all that matters to me. I don't care about paying full price. As still amazing value. I really wanted to get it, and it wasn't FOMO. It wasn't FOMO in this case because I've been actually very good lately. I really do want to add these models to my Ork army, and it was just a really good box set to take advantage of right now that I'll be painting a lot of orcs this summer. I'll add them in. I'll get them done. It'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait to airbrush, you know, insanely my Stompa. But that was my experience. And then, so I kept up with the website afterwards. It took about 33 minutes in Canada to sell out for the orcs. Eventually, like a couple hours later, the Custodes one sold out. So yeah, obviously there was a huge demand for the Custodes Battleforce. There was an insane demand for the orcs one. And after that, all the rest of the products are still available as of right now. I'm filming this the next day. And the dice are still available, the cards, the codices, everything else. Obviously the Combat Patrol boxes, because they're not limited edition, they're created a lot. That's crazy. That's crazy. So once again, I don't know. GW didn't produce enough across the world. They definitely didn't give enough to the retailers. And again, maybe they are estimating correctly the demand, and they just don't want to meet the demand because it's such a good value, right? Obviously, there were a lot of old kits. Like the mech is brand new. The boys are from last edition, which is awesome. The Burner Boys are really old models, the truck's a really old model, and the Stompa's a really old model. Stompa's like 12, 13 years old, 14 years old now. The reason why I really wanted to buy it now was because I figured if they're launching it at the beginning of an edition, this is usually when they sweep up and clean up a lot of the old models, and they did that in this edition, which I'll go over in a Codex review. All the old Finecast models are basically gone, right? They're no longer existing. So if they were going to eliminate the Stompa this edition, I think it was going to be now, and they didn't do it. So I think it's going to be still available for this edition, probably next edition too. But that's it. That was my experience. So in the end, I am happy I got a copy. Did you get a copy where you live? Were you trying to get a copy? Were you trying to get a Custodes? Tell me about your experience. Was it similar to mine? Are you frustrated? I'm kind of annoyed. But yes, that was my experience. Please leave comments in the comment section about what your experience was. Like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please hit that bell so every time I make a new video, you see it. And stay tuned for more And It's Gone videos because they're going to keep happening. This is insanity. What do you think? Until next time, this is Jay saying thank you so much for watching and happy painting your sold out army.